Hi you guys, it's me, Kara. So today I'm going to be talking about 50 Shades of Grey. I feel weirdly intrigued by 50 Shades of Grey. A disclaimer here is I'm probably going to piss off a lot of guys on here, and I apologize for that. Don't really mean to do that. This film, I think, awoke a lot of sexuality in a lot of people. E.L. James, she wrote 50 Shades of Grey, the franchise of these 3 books, 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, 50 Shades Freed, I think. And essentially it's kind of like Twilight. E.L. James, she based her books off of Twilight, and she did a fan fiction. She changed the names and she makes it 50 Shades of Grey. Interesting enough, Stephenie Meyer, the writer of the Twilight books, she has no interest in reading these books. It is a franchise. It has made millions of dollars, obviously made tons of money at the box office. It was like crazy how big the numbers were for it. So naturally, I think this movie is just intriguing, and it's very mysterious and sexual, and I think we haven't really gotten something like that. This movie, it had some pretty raunchy stuff, and I think they may have played it a little bit too safe. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What are you talking about? This movie is like so inappropriate. Because the book was a lot more sexual, and I read the first book. I haven't read the other 2. I wasn't really interested in it that much because I thought it was poorly written. I thought the characters, they said some very dumb, cheesy stuff as what I was expecting in the movie, and I was right. They say kind of really dumb stuff. Like, Christian's like, I'm incapable of leaving you alone, and where have you been all my life? And she's like, waiting. And he's like, guys must be falling for you. And I'm like, come on. This is it's stupid. 50 Shades of Grey is about Anastasia, who is a college student studying English. So her roommate slash friend, Kate, she gets sick, and she has to go replace her for the interview, to interview Christian Grey. And that's how they meet, and that's how all the crazy, stupid stuff happens. The book is stupid, right? Okay, we all get that. We all established that. The movie, it's even stupider because it didn't do any of the charm that the book had. It wasn't very, I think they just played it way too safe for the sex stuff. And I know that sounds really bad, but like, I was expecting more of that, and I didn't even really get that much. I think Anastasia, she always needs him. And same with Bella, always needing Edward, you know? It's very dumb. Like, these girls, they're just so weak, and I'm tired of it because I think the female protagonists in films, they are strong and willing at the beginning, but then they kind of get weak, and it's like, not all girls are like that. So Christian and Anastasia, they go like in planes. Same with how Edward and Bella went in the trees, you know? It's just like these aching similarities. Her friend Jose looks a lot like Jacob in Twilight. So I'm just saying, like, this, it literally is Twilight but with different names. So basically, Edward is a vampire and Christian is a perv. I feel like emotion and love, they really overshadow actual logic. I just don't want girls to think this is real life. I don't want girls to have these expectations, and sadly, when we see tons of this stuff brainwashing us in the media and in books and everything like that, it really messes with our minds, and we end up having these really unrealistic expectations, and I think this movie has that a lot, because not all of us can end up with a billionaire. I know that sounds exciting and most of us would love to have that, but the fact is, girls, you are so smart and you're so capable of anything a guy can do, and I don't want this movie to damage women's minds, and sadly I think that's what it's done, and I don't like that. It's well shot, well directed, there's a female director. Sam Taylor Johnson could have done a much better job establishing Anastasia as an independent and free-willing character. There's like a line where she says, Anastasia says, I'm gonna hold on to my free will a little bit longer, thank you very much, and it's like, you don't really though, you know? I mean, it starts off kind of strong, but then she just gets weak. You don't need a guy to take care of you, and yeah, again, this movie did end with a stupid cliffhanger, like, oh my god, are they getting back together? What's happening? Like, it's exactly like Twilight. It's gonna have these cliffhangers and these endings that are like, okay, so guess I'll have to see the next movie, you know? The movie really did have good acting from Dakota Johnson, who played Anastasia. I actually think she's very talented. The thing is, though, I don't think this is the movie that really could have made her career. I think this movie did get her on the map, and now she's doing all these other projects. I think she did the best with what she was given, and she tried not to make the line sound so cheesy. She tried to evoke like real emotion and make it seem real. Whereas Jamie Dornan, who plays Christian, he's very cheesy, but I think with those lines it's kind of hard not to say them and not come off as being cheesy and stupid. She was naked in the movie more than Jamie Dornan, and that honestly was like, why do men get censored differently than women? You know, I don't get it. Guys are like just awkward and they're clumsy and they're on top of women, and the women are like the only beautiful real thing in the film, and it's weird how guys aren't really shown in that way too. You know, it was just kind of one-sided, and it was just really just about her and like just, you know, taking away her innocence. She loses her virginity on camera and all this other stuff. Amy Dornan was like never shown, but she was shown so much, and it was just weird. Women are valued as sex objects now, and that's what's so sad about our world. Women are just, it's all about looks now, and it's about having these unrealistic expectations, having a thigh gap, having big boobs, a big butt, like a really skinny waist. You know, it's really stupid. Like 17% of women are running Congress right now, and you know, we really don't have much of a say, and I think that's so stupid. And the pay gap is different for women. We're getting paid 77 cents to every dollar that a man is making. I don't think that's fair. And we still have all this pressure to look beautiful at the same time. Well, guys, they get paid more and they don't even have to try. They just put on a suit and tie and then they're ready to go. It's just, I don't think it's fair. I really don't. And I just think the media, and especially films, are skewing this. And this movie was one that definitely skewed women's expectations. Go to college, go get a job, go do what you love. You can do anything a man can do, and do not ever let a guy tell you what you can and can't do. Don't ever, and with anybody really, do what you want to do. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom and take care of kids, great, that's awesome. But I just want you to know there's so much more out there in the world for you. You deserve so much better. Dakota Johnson isn't just a pretty face. And that's what was stupid about this movie. It was just valuing her as a pretty face and not her as her performance and her acting and her real emotional appeal and talent. It wasn't in there. And it was really fucking stupid. Do not take this movie seriously. Don't take this seriously. And it essentially is the next Twilight. That's all it is. Oh, I don't need to be innocent and naive. And oh my goodness, I can really, I mean, I have a voice. I am a bitch, whatever. I mean, if guys want to call me a bitch, that's fine. I have a voice and I deserve to be heard. It's achingly similar to Twilight, and that's the thing. And people are like, oh, you shouldn't compare stuff to Twilight. It is the exact same thing as Twilight. I'm not joking. 50 Shades of Grey is 50 Shades of fucked up. When I see films like this, I always have to test my brain. I always have to go back here and say, listen, this is not real. Do not ever, ever, ever have these expectations. Do not ever act like this to get a guy, because it will not work. And you know, sometimes just seeing the things on screen, it kind of overpowers that, but I always have to tell myself, this is not real. Do not have these expectations. Do not do these things. The bottom line in any relationship today is we just want love, and we just want acceptance, and we just want someone to care about us. I think that's the only thing we really need. Alone in planes and you know, taken to a luxury penthouse. I don't need that, you know. That's nice, but you know, I can get those things myself. I don't need a guy to do that for me. And that's my goal, is to make a life for myself. And if a guy comes around, sure, but I do not want him taking care of me. I can take care of myself. And you can too, girls. So that's my thoughts on 50 Shades of Grey, you guys. Now, you guys can please subscribe. I already reached 600 subscribers, which is amazing. Really, really cool. It just seems like it's growing, and I'm not even really posting that much stuff, so I'm really thankful for that. I will be planning on doing a Q&A video soon. Just please give me time. Really busy. It's finals week in like 2 weeks, and I still have to study a lot, and I'm writing papers at the wazoo right now. So I just really appreciate you guys for understanding that, and I'll talk to y'all later, bugs. Love you, love you. I love you so much. All right, have a great day. Bye.